Alright, in this lesson I'm just going to briefly go over some of the scripting things we had to do, such as create player spawn points, create the item pickup menu, and creating the exit or win state so it loads you into a new level. I've already created all these scripts, and I'm not going to show you how to program them word for word. Hopefully you've gone through the digital tutors lessons that I've assigned and you've learned all the scripting you need to. I myself just went through the lessons again just to brush up on exactly the right kind of things I needed to input. This video just show you basically how I did it and some of the subtle changes you might need to do to take the knowledge you learned in those lessons and apply it to this. The first thing that we're going to go over are my spawn points, and you can see that the first step we have to do is create let's see, we need to create some empty spawn points, player spawn point 1, 2, and 3. And I just want to reiterate that, let me bring over this digital tutors. The lessons you need to go through in the digital tutors lessons to create these spawn points are 13, 14, and 15. And you should be able to follow these verbatim. There's not going to be too much differences between creating the spawn points in the mine shaft and your level. So just go through these 3 lessons. And I'll just go through real quick about what I did. I made my spawn points, and I made sure they were kind of up in the air so I wasn't falling through the level. I created a empty game object that kind of just grouped them all, so I had it nice and organized in my hierarchy right there. I have my player spawn controller script in monodevelop right here. Again, this is all the scripting code that you'll find out in the digital tutors lessons once more. Nothing's really different. I just pretty much went through the lessons verbatim to get this part. And then he created the controllers menu, and there's my player spawn controller. Don't forget to drag and drop your scripts onto your game objects. I've already done that here. As you can see, my player spawn controller is attached to this empty game object. So I just created an empty game object. And they always come in with random values, so zero those out. And basically just rename these empty game objects. These are basically just little holders to hold your scripts. And I just named them player spawn controller. Anyway, this should be all stuff that you should be able to go through regardless. Let me just delete that out. And as you can see, I've placed my spawn points in just kind of random areas throughout the hallways. I didn't place any of the spawn points in any of the major 2 rooms or down the slanted hallway. I mainly just wanted to kind of keep them random in the halls, so it was up to the player to find the major rooms. Yeah, so just go through lessons 13, 14 in the digital tutors, and you should be able to set up your spawn points without any problems. Don't forget to go and make your game state scripts and all that. Your game state will be what controls your spawning and all the random numbers and all that good stuff. So let's go through some of the changes for item pickup real quick. Alright, you'll notice that I've got my ammo crates inside the level. I've just placed them randomly. I've made a prefab. Let's go to my prefabs folder. Here we go. And the only really differences you'll find from this prefab through the rest of them is that I've created a box collider and just a normal box collider on it. And remember, whenever you create your box collider, I like to create it in my prefabs. If you change anything, like let's add another box collider. I can show you, I guess. Well, I'll do that. Anytime you make a change up here, hit apply, and it'll apply it to all your prefabs you already have existing in the scene. Or if you just want to cut out the middleman, I just like to make my changes in my prefabs folder down here. So I just go to select my prefabs, and I can just make all my changes to the ammo crate inside my prefab folder right there. And the difference between this collider and the rest is that this is trigger. Don't forget to mark that as trigger. Just to reiterate, to get your HUD and pickup lessons going, just go through lesson 16, scripting the HUD, and lesson 17, creating items in Unity, and you should be good to go. Since those lessons dealt with lantern fuel and this lesson deals with ammo count, I basically just replaced the words fuel with ammo. Anytime he said ammo, or anytime he said fuel in his code, I said ammo, and I can show you what I'm talking about right here. Let's see, in my inventory, Instead of fuel amount, I have ammo amount. Instead of HUD fuel amount, I have HUD ammo amount, and then ammo amount HUD GUI. So this is basically the same code verbatim. I've just switched out the keywords fuel and ammo just to make it work for me. Don't forget to, let's see, whenever you're placing your making your HUD game object right here, you might notice that let's see, there we go. You'll notice that I have my HUD pickups icons right here. Easy way to place those is after you go and add the component of rendering GUI texture. It brings up this little menu right here. Remember, you're going to plug in your pickup 000 because that's going to be the initial one. The texture is actually 256 by 128. The way I basically placed it is I typed in these values in right border and top border, and then I adjusted I went into my game tab right here so I could see what was going on here, and after I typed in the dimensions in top and right border, I basically just adjusted by clicking and dragging and got them in the right place right there. So yeah, and instead of let's see, the only other difference is I made an ammo count instead of whatever he created. I think it was like a fuel amount script. I called it ammo count. You can see it here, Mon Develop. Nothing's different. Instead of fuel pickup, I have ammo pickup. You get the basic theme, just switching out ammo and fuel keywords. I want to reiterate that you have to copy the code verbatim. I know this is, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves with some of these complex functions and variables and all that good stuff, and these new void functions and anyway. Yeah, it's a little confusing right now, so you got to make sure that you're copying the code verbatim. An uppercase letter, or make sure that these are brackets and not parentheses, and don't forget your semicolons. Coding's very strict on what you type, so spelling errors or forgetting to add something, or just making any kind of syntax error will wreck your code. So you got to be very careful about your code. It's very specific. So like I said, if you need to, I'll go through every single one of these pages and you can kind of get an idea of what I typed in. So that's my ammo count. Here's my player spline controller. Here's my game state, the actual script that runs the game to check and see if I'm where I'm spawning. Here's the inventory script I made. There's that ammo count script again, so whenever you pick up an ammo, it destroys it. It's basically the collider for the player. And I made an exit script, and we'll get in that right now. So basically, I just have an exit script, and instead of creating a new level, I just have it reloading level 07. Level 07, since I was saving iteratively, level 07 is just the final level I have with all the components of the assignment in there. So basically, anytime you hit the area in which, let me go to my scenes tab, anytime you hit the area, which I already discussed earlier, I want it to be these doors, it will just reload this level. So how did I do this? Well, I went in and I figured out, okay, I want the player, when they collides into these doors, I want the level to reload itself. So basically I went to the prefab of just doors here, and I created a new component. I made it a box collider. I adjusted its positions and values, so you have plenty of space to kind of collide into this green box collider. And I didn't hit apply because I don't want all the doors to load the level. So remember, if you have a prefab doors, see how many prefab doors I have, and if I had to hit apply, it would apply this exit script to all of them. So make sure, if you're messing with prefabs and adding scripts, make sure you know what you're doing when you're hitting that apply button. Anyway, so anytime the player collides with this collider box I made for this certain prefab door, it restarts the level. And all I had to do is just drag that exit script right onto that prefab. So click and drag it right on there. So you already have two. And then you'll have this exit script. Let me remove this component. And my level is complete. And I'll give you a little tour right now. So one of my 3 random spawn points I'm in the major pump room. There's my fire. There's one of my ammo crates right there. My pickup HUD is updating itself. I need to find that other ammo crate. There I have it, just randomly sitting in a hallway. So I've picked that up. Let me go into this little control room. There's my third ammo crate. And all 3 pickups are destroyed when I pick them up, and they updated my HUD. And I'm ready just to walk into these doors. And there we go. I've reloaded in here. And if you're having trouble getting the level to load correctly, remember, don't forget to go to your build settings and file build settings, and make sure you add the correct kind of scene in there, because it's going to be looking for the scenes in the build so it knows which scene to load in the exit script right here. So don't forget that part. Oop. Just minimize that. So yeah, that was my level. In the next chapter I'll show you how you can package up your project and submit it to me, and be ready to rock and roll and be done with this assignment. I hope you guys have had fun so far. Thank you.